Hi, our group is me, Claudia, Adia, and Maya. For our project, we are reviewing the Oura Ring, a compact wearable device worn on the finger that continuously monitors several physiological metrics, such as heart rate variability, resting heart rate, body temperature, respiratory rate, and different sleep stages. The company claims that the Oura Ring can improve sleep quality, optimize recovery, and enhance daily performance. It's marketed as non-invasive and is promoted as being backed by research, clinical studies, and partnerships with scientists and universities. It is an alternative to traditional monitoring tools and aims to deliver scientifically accurate, continuous insights into personal health without being disruptive to daily life. Given how popular wearable tech has become, especially products incorporating personalized, science-based health insights, it's really important to evaluate whether these claims actually hold up under scientific inspection. In this project, we aim to take a closer look at what research really says about the Oura Ring, what it does well, and where it falls short.
There are numerous scientific studies that provide support for the Oura Ring's various health-related claims. To begin with its sleep tracking capabilities, a study conducted by Zambati et al. In 2019 compared the Oura Ring's sleep data to polysomnography, which is widely considered the gold standard of sleep science. The study found that the ring demonstrated a high accuracy rate of 96% for detecting overall sleep, which is a strong indicator of its general effectiveness. However, the accuracy dropped considerably when it came to differentiating between specific sleep stages. It achieved only 65% accuracy for light sleep, 51% for deep sleep, and 61% for REM sleep. These findings suggest that while the ring is reliable for measuring whether a person is asleep or awake, it still struggles to correctly classify the more nuanced stages of sleep. Furthermore, it is important to highlight that this particular study only included women as participants, which can significantly limit the generalizability of the findings to broader populations, including men or individuals with sleep disorders. A second study published in Sleep Medicine in 2024 examined the performance of a newer Generation 3 Oura Ring. This updated version showed improved performance in total sleep time estimation and sleep-wake detection. However, despite the inclusion of updated hardware and firmware, the ring still consistently overestimated deep sleep and underestimated REM sleep, indicating that the advancements in technology had only led to moderate improvements in sleep stage detection accuracy. Now turning to heart rate and heart rate variability tracking, a third study published in the Journal of Medicine Internet Research in 2022 investigated how well the ring performed in comparison to electrocardiogram data. The results showed a strong correlation with ECG readings during resting stages, suggesting that the ring is reliable for capturing passive physiological metrics like heart rate and heart rate variability. However, its accuracy did decline noticeably during physical activity or periods of disrupted sleep, which are important situations where precise tracking would be valuable. Lastly, Oura has promoted its menstrual cycle tracking feature, claiming that body temperature trends recorded by the ring can help predict various phases of the menstrual cycle. While this concept is biologically plausible and supported by basic physiological principles, the evidence backing this feature primarily comes from the internal company data shared by blog posts, not from peer-reviewed scientific research. This reliance on unpublished or non-peer-reviewed data raises concerns about potential biases and limits the credibility of such claims. So in conclusion, the Oura Ring shows promising results for general sleep and cardiovascular metric tracking, especially during rest, but it remains less dependable for more complex measurements like detailed sleep staging or hormone-related cycle predictions. These limitations are important to consider, especially for users relying on the device for detailed health insights or clinical decision-making purposes.
When critically evaluating the evidence across the three studies in one blog post, it's essential to weigh both strengths and limitations. Rather than taking the findings at face value, we have to consider how the data was collected, the context in which it was analyzed, and whether the conclusions are supported by rigorous and unbiased methods. These criteria help determine how much confidence we can place in the claims being made, especially when they relate to consumer health technologies like the Oura Ring. Starting with Study 1. It holds strong scientific credibility. It used the polysomnography, also known as PSG, the gold standard in sleep research, and provided detailed numerical data across different sleep stages. Its methods were clearly outlined and replicable, which strengthens trust in its conclusions. However, it only included female participants, which presents a limitation in terms of generalizability. While that might have been intentional, perhaps to explore hormone-related patterns, it still restricts how broadly these findings apply to all users. Study 2, which tested the more recent Generation 3 Oura Ring, also used the PSG and emphasized real-world elements, which is a strength. It aimed to simulate how users actually interact with the device outside of a lab setting, but again, its small and demographically narrow sample makes it harder to relate the findings to a wider range of people. That said, the study was peer-reviewed and showed no signs of biases, adding to its credibility and making it a valuable piece of evidence despite its scope. Study 3 added further nuance. It confirmed the Oura Ring's accuracy during rest, particularly the measure of sleep duration and heart rate variability, HRV. However, it is also revealed that during movement or disrupted sleep, the data was significantly less reliable. This highlights a key issue. The device may work under ideal passive conditions, but its accuracy drops when those conditions aren't met, which, in real life, happens often. The Oura blog post, it's the weakest source. It's not peer-reviewed, and all the data comes from internal sources. While it builds on existing science, such as known connection between body temperature and menstrual cycles, the promotional tone and lack of external validation significantly reduces its credibility. It's best viewed as a marketing piece rather than an objective source of scientific information. Across all studies, a few common limitations emerge. Short monitoring periods, which make it difficult to assess trends over time, lab-based environments, which don't always reflect typical user behavior, and the risk of data cherry-picking, particularly in company-sponsored content. In conclusion, there's solid support for the Oura Ring's performance in measuring basic metrics like sleep duration and heart rate variability under restful conditions. However, when it comes to more advanced features such as sleep stage classification and menstrual cycle prediction, the current evidence is too limited and narrow to support strong claims. More independent, diverse, and long-term studies are needed before those features can be considered scientifically reliable.
From the evaluation and analysis of studies, conclusions can be made about the accuracy of these specific aspects of the Oura Ring. The Oura Ring has clear strengths of reliable tracking of total sleep time, resting heart rate, and heart rate variability, which makes it useful for general wellness and routine monitoring. But its claims around detailed sleep stages and menstrual tracking aren't fully supported by independent research yet. Studies have shown that while the Oura Ring can detect sleep and general trends fairly accurately, it struggles to correctly identify stages like deep and REM sleep. And when it comes to menstrual tracking, the current claims rely more on internal company data and blog posts than on peer-reviewed independent studies. So, while the data it provides can still be useful for spotting trends, it shouldn't be treated as medically precise or diagnostic. As wearable tech becomes more integrated into personal health and more people start using it to guide their health decisions, we need to stay critical of how these tools are marketed. Features that go beyond basic tracking really need stronger independent scientific validation. The Oura Ring has potential, but there's still room for growth in its research behind some of more of its advanced features.